Hello, everybody. My name is Chip Boaz, and I'm here to talk about the track of the week from my playlist, The Low End Jazz Bassists, which you can find on Spotify and Apple Music. This edition's track is a song called Lined with a Groove from bassist Pete Coco and his album of the same name. Now, Pete is a New York guy. He's been on the scene for a long time there, played with lots of fantastic musicians, folks like Melissa Aldana, Bucky Pizzarelli, Matt Wilson, Jane Monheit, and that list goes on and on. He has a doctorate in classical bass performance from Stony Brook University and has also studied with some pretty heavy jazz guys. Names you might recognize, folks like Ron Carter, Todd Coolman, Rufus Reed. That is a heavy list of bass players right there. Now, Pete is also an active educator. He is an adjunct professor at Hofstra University. He is also the music director at the Music Academy of Garden City. And actually, Pete is a pretty amazing photographer. He does work taking pictures of musicians and all sorts of subjects. You have got to check out his Instagram account. There is some really fantastic work there. Now, Lined with Groove is a song famously recorded by Ray Brown and Milt Jackson a while back. And Pete, boy, pays great tribute to that recording while putting his own spin on the song. The song starts off with a ferocious blues melody that Pete just knocks out of the park, plays with such spirit and conviction, and really channels that Ray Brown energy through the line, which is not easy to do, and it sounds fantastic. After that melody, Pete charges into a walking line behind pianist Sullivan Fortner's solo. And Pete's walking has a really great sense of swing to it. You can hear the buoyancy of someone like Ray Brown combined with that rock solid groove of someone like Ron Carter. And there's just this kind of lift to it that seems uniquely Pete. It locks into drummer Matt Wilson with a very tight sense of time, but also a loose nature that allows for the music to come alive. Now, after Sullivan's solo, we go to Pete's solo, and his work with the bow is just off the hook. The sound of his playing reminds me a lot of someone like Paul Chambers, which is some of my favorite stuff. So those bow solos that Paul Chambers took, just, can't tell you how many times I've listened to that. And obviously, Pete has too, because he takes that and runs with it. I love the way he develops blues lines into this really intriguing melody. And the articulations that he puts in there with the bow really make the solo come alive. And that sort of articulation when you're improvising with the bow is tough stuff. But Pete really makes the bass sing in that way. Really inspiring. Goes back to that melody again, and the track ends with so much great energy. This one is a bass tour de force, and you'll listen to it and love the stuff that Pete's doing. I encourage you to go back to the playlist and check out Lined with the Groove. It's the first track this week. If you like what you hear, go buy Pete's album. It's also called Lined with the Groove, and support the great work he's doing. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the playlist so you can catch each weekly update with tons of inspired bass playing and lots of great jazz. Until next time. Enjoy the music.